Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3. Okay, I can hear myself pretty clear. Hopefully everyone else who's here can hear me fine. So let's get started, folks. Happy Saturday. Thanks for being here. For the folks who are new to the channel, new to what I do, let me do a brief introduction. My name is Shadowstars. What I do on this channel is I like to provide information. I like to provide context. I like to provide you with context to what is being talked about. In particular, lately I've been covering a lot about the stock AMC, and I cover a lot of the information about the company. I see that too often. There's folks on social media that spread misinformation, that skew information without providing the context. And too often they're grifting off of folks. When you present wrong information or misinformation and you try to make money off of that, you try to trick people off of that, I think that deserves to be called out. We're not going to go into the whole ethical, moral debate. I'm just here saying that, you know what? I'm here to fact check you. If you're presenting the right information, I got no problem with you. I support you. But if you're going to be on social media accounts, making your videos, monetizing it, selling your merchandise, putting up your affiliate links, asking people to pay you super chats, pay some Patreon, whatever. If you're going to grift like that and you're pushing false information, I say you're fair game. I'm going to fact check you. I'm going to show you where I get my information from reputable sources. I'm going to show it so that everyone can see where I'm getting it, and that'll be proof to show you your points are incorrect. So that's what I do here on this channel. So right now, the focus is strictly on AMC for the time being, but I will be branching off. I did a little bit here and there. My last video, I did talk about Mullen. Talked a little about AVCT previously, but I'll be branching out. Other stocks will definitely be covered, and depending on what other folks want to have my opinions on, my thoughts on, I mean, leave them down below in the comments. Let me know what stocks you guys want me to give an opinion on, what you want me to do research on. I'll pull up the SEC. I'll pull up the relevant SEC filings. Let's clarify the information that's put out. So before I go any deeper, actually let me pull out one little tab here. There's been a little bit of backlash in some of the points that I've been making, and I want to comment on it, but also I want to give some, I guess, positive feedback for the folks who've been in AMC, because let me clarify, I'm not here to bash on a stock. All I'm here is to provide the information, factual information. I'll show you where I'm getting it. I'm not going to force you folks to pay money. No, I'm not like those grifters. I'm doing this all for free. YouTube isn't my full-time job. I have a separate full-time job, but I do this on the side as my little hobby. And I wanted to highlight one person who is with AMC. I got no problems with that. Your money, your stock, whatever. It's your decision. But he brings up points. He brings it up in a respectful manner, and I got no problems having a debate with that. You want to bring up points? Go ahead. Bring your data. Bring your stats, bring your figures. If you can prove your points, I got no problems. The problem for me is really when you bring up, you make claims statements that can't be backed up whatsoever by any reputable source. So, sorry folks, I'm still trying to pull it up. And this is something I recently commented back. So here, let me pull up my YouTube studio here. This was when I did an update in regards to the CFO. I covered this, Sean Goodman, CFO's Form 4 filings. So the Form 4 filings show all the cells. You can see what's been occurring in regards to any of the RSUs, the PSUs, etc., the shares that he's been receiving. And this person, Anthony Nolan, he commented, hey, the CFO is doing what he has been doing since he started in the company, selling. That's okay. I really would be worried if he started just now. He doesn't all the time. He said he met the CFO in London in a bank, and he's not a leader, he's a bean counter. So, okay. Comments like this, I don't mind. But I can fact check that real quick, and I gave him a reply. We know that, hey, you want to talk about Sean Goodman? You don't think that he's selling? You don't think that's a bad thing or something to be worried about? Okay. So let's look into the filings then. Do I have it pre-pulled up? Right here. So for folks, if you're not familiar, please use this website, the SEC Edgar website. All the official filings for all these publicly traded companies. It's a treasure trove of information. It's a reliable source of information. So what I do is you can pull up ownership disclosures, insider transactions, and I have all the reports, all his form filings for Sean D. Goodman. So we can see his form filings from his previous position at Asbury Automotive Group. And we see all the different filings for AMC. If you look at it, Sean Goodman joined AMC in December of 2019. And he didn't sell shares of AMC until April of 2021. Right off the bat, look at how many forms have been filed. Look at all the different transactions that have occurred for AMC within a, let's say, 3-year span. Look at how many filings. So the most recent filing date or transaction date, January 11th, 2023. You can go all the way back down to, in the past, of 2019, December 2nd. Look at the number of filings. Sure, each filing has multiple line items, but nonetheless, significantly more filings versus when he was at Asbury Automotive Group. Sure, the compensation structure is different. But you can look at how many times did he buy, how many times did he sell, what awards is he getting, how is he being compensated, is PSUs, just RSUs, any bonuses. You can see that quite easily. Asbury, you see his first filing, 2017, was that July 5th? He was only there for about 2 years. Oops, where is it? He joined the company in May of 2017. He left in October of 2019. So just over 2 years, right? And he only sold shares once in that company, and that was on April 2019. And when he sold his position, some shares of Asbury, he sold about 10% of his total shares. That is nothing compared to what he has done as the CFO for AMC. So remember, I pulled up all the previous transactions. I need to add in the most recent one. I just have the figures here. But look, he has sold over 500,000 shares of AMC. He's made nearly 13 million off of that. We know that currently he holds on to 4,420 shares of AMC. And we know his combined equity interest in the company is only 745,000 shares, approximately. That value, if we use AMC and APE values of closing on Friday, only worth 2.3 million. When he is supposed to have 6 times his base salary. You use that base salary, approximately 780, 800,000. He's supposed to have 4.7 mil at least. But even if you count future shares he's supposed to own, he's under that value. But yeah, that's just one comment I wanted to engage upon. I got no problems. You thought that, okay, that's just what he does, but you know what? Let's be clear. Let's be transparent. And for example, you can look up the news. We can find out when he leaves, when he joins. These are just the news articles. When he's joining, stuff like that. And I wanted to give you folks a quick box office update. Oh, I see someone. Okay, let me catch up on the chat. I got a couple comments here. What's up, Manuel? Thanks for being here. Tony, thank you. Model 3, what's up, man? Genocide, resident Canadian in the chat. Good, we can actually hear the mic this time. Oh, go to some BS rally in front of the SEC building. Yeah, I remember seeing some tweets about it. I think they're doing some sort of protest in DC. Was it the Marine or something? Or was it Donahue George? One of those folks. They're doing some sort of rally in front of the SEC. I think even in DC, like January 27th or 28th or something like that. Genocide, what's going on? Can you comment on your subscriber analytics briefly? What do you mean? Here's my analytics right here. Got nothing to hide. Let's see, 134 subscribers. You can see that, hey, views really up, watch times really up, subscribers up. I really started to make videos probably in the last 3 weeks. That's when I got a little bit more regular on them. Before that, I made this channel back in August of 2021. So, since I'm putting up more videos, like almost like every day, every other day, everything's up. But I'm glad. Looks like people are subscribing to the channel. They're watching more and more of the content. Hopefully they find it useful. I'm doing my best to provide you folks with clear, factual information, showing you exactly where I'm getting the data. There's nothing to hide. I'm being fully transparent. I don't grift. All the folks who are out there that make folks pay Patreons, paid for the Discords, ask for super chats, sell merch, all that stuff. Hey, I get you want to hustle, but good Lord, you're trying to sell financial advice while not being a financial advisor, saying this is not financial advice. All at the same time, you're telling them misinformation. You're telling them the wrong information. Like, yikes. Seriously? Is that what you want to be doing? I don't want to attack anyone and say, I don't want to go into any ethics or morality, but I just can't do it. That's not who I am. I got my own full-time job. That pays the bills. But okay, Donnie and the Marine, January 27th and 28th. Oof. I'll be clear. I live near the DC metro area, but I don't know. Do I even want to waste my time? 27th, Friday, Saturday? Do I even want to waste my time driving there to see it? I don't know. We'll see what the weather's like. We'll see what I'm doing that weekend. Maybe I can film the folks there. Kind of give you a live look at what's going on at the folks that are all into this SEC protest. I remember someone posted the permit application for the protest, and there were spelling mistakes and stuff. It's just, whew. You would have to think those folks working at the SEC, those folks who are, I forgot who where you needed to submit to do a protest, but I don't know what type of people submit those requests. I don't know what they're used to, but if you receive a request filled with grammatical errors, with spelling errors, typos, I wouldn't take it seriously. Honestly, I don't think I would get within 20 feet of those folks. I'd be more afraid that those folks, they'd be violent. I was in the area. I mean, I live in the DC area, so I was there when those riots occurred, when they were breaking down stores, they were robbing them, and was it the whole Black Lives Matter stuff? It was wild. I mean, they're saying that it's going to be a peaceful protest at the SEC, but you know what? I got no clue what they're thinking. But you know what? I don't plan on going down this rabbit hole any further. So let's move on. But yeah, SEC filing wise, looks like AMC, nothing else new. I already covered it in previous videos about the Form 4 filing for Sean Goodman. I knew that, hey, based on his previous patterns that you can see, the moment he gets more shares vested, usually within a month, if not 2 weeks, he files to sell them. And that pattern seems to have repeated itself again, on January 13th. That's when he filed. Let me be clear. That's when he filed this, but the transaction occurred on the 11th. So let me be clear about that. Now, someone recommended me. They told me that, hey, this Wes Christian, I believe is his name, Wes Christian. He's a lawyer. He's going to fight the illegal Wall Street share manipulation. This whole interview is it's the biggest thing. It's catching on fire. So I never watched it. I want to share it with you folks, and I'll give you my live reaction. So I'm going to be stopping it in between. And good Lord, it's 38 minutes. And I guess I can't complain about the length of it when I make my videos about 40, 50 minutes. But, oh, that stocks and crypto, guys. Please. For the folks who don't know, let me pull up youtube.com stocks and crypto plays. Also, I want to pull up his Twitter. It is very cringe. Let me pull up his Twitter account. Okay, so here. You got his Twitter account. You got his YouTube channel. Just look through the tweets. Look at his type of tweets. He's always about canceling CNN. I don't care about your political affiliation, which way you lean, but always liking, what is this? He's liking a lot of these models. Yep, more of these models. And he seems to have some sort of idea of how media is, and all these big companies are now anti-Caucasian. I don't know. And he's always saying, was it, he hears it from God, or he hears it from Jesus. He sounds like, I think, what are those people? Jehovah's Witness folks. He's so into it. Oh, goodness. Oh, he talks about GNS, and is that the same company? No, GNUS. Never mind. Darn, I thought it was. But yeah, I've covered plenty of videos on him. I'll probably do a one. Let's see. Has he done anything new? GNS? I thought it was GNUS. Genius Brands. GNUS. Genius Group. Hold on. Am I tripping? Genius Brands International. This is the company, and oh, GNS. Oh, oops. I did get it wrong. So, actually, that is my bad. GNS. Okay. Singapore. Okay, so I'm going to look into this. Yeah, so, yeah. We'll see. We'll look into this video, what this stock is, because I want to get some context of what this looks like. This is the CEO, I'm guessing. My company, he's saying, GNS is under attack. But nonetheless, this guy is just so busy going against Fox News, going against CNN. He's riding Elon. He's just constantly on Elon. Then any other time, he's always clicking on, was it? Oh, wow, he's been a while. I thought I'd see more. Constantly liking all these models. Yep, all these models. Thirsting after folks on Twitter. That's all he does. He says, he's so busy, see? Says he's spending all these hours doing research and DD, but all he's doing is he's just spending hours and hours, I bet, just liking models on Twitter. See? That's all he does. Then he's going against the media, social media, the big mainstream media places. It's ridiculous. But for now, I want to listen to this video. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm really curious what everyone thinks about it, and I'll give my reaction. So without further ado, let's hop to it. Sorry, I gotta listen to it a little bit sped up.
Wall Street has figured out a way, ladies and gentlemen, to make more money killing companies than building them. What could be more sick than that?
Hi, it's Roger Hamilton here, the CEO of Genius Group, and I'm about to share with you a frightening video of Wes Christian talking about just how massive the fraud is on Wall Street right now when it comes to illegal short selling, which is driving down the price of so many different companies, including AMC, including GameStop, including our own company, and it is affecting the CEOs and the teams and the customers of those companies, together with all the retail investors that are invested in these companies as well. Our company, Genius Group, we had our IPO at $6 a share in April last year. And since then, because of our growth, we've had analysts that have given these kind of reports, from Diamond giving us a price target of like $11 a share, or like this one here from Zacks, which is giving us a price target of $18 a share, and then upgrading that to $19 a share. And then this is our share price. It's gone right down to under 40 cents, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this is because of this illegal practice. So when we found out this was happening, we got Wes on board. He's proven that this is happening, as you're going to hear. And just to be clear, our company Genius Group is a fast-growing company that was growing 50% year over year before we had the IPO. And then we just had our earnings report where we just shared that we had grown by 60%. In fact, here are some of our slides from our earnings call where we've been sharing about our Metaversity launch, our AI Genie, which is providing personalized pathways, partnerships with thought leaders that have already...
Okay, so what I want to do is, so it's GNS. Let's make sure I got it right. Genius Group. So Genius Group. Let's look at all his filings. It's most recent 6K. So because it is located Singapore, overseas. Let's see. That's financing. No. Let's see all his other previous 6Ks. Unaudited, condensed, yep, financial statements. Let's take a quick look. Okay, in 9 months, okay, they're in USD currency. So ending September 30th, total revenue of, so what, in thousands, I'm guessing? So what, 24 million? Their total revenue was 24.6 million? That's what I'm seeing? They have a net loss of 5.2 million. You got negative EBITDA. You only have, what, 9 million in cash as of that date. You burned 5.2 million in what, the last 9 months, and you're confused that your stock price has gone down. Total assets, cash and cash equivalents, just under 9 mil. Let's see, your current assets 36 mil. Total assets 83 mil. What's your total liabilities? 30.3 mil. Okay, that's not too bad. 16.2 mil in current liabilities. Your cost of revenue, 9.5 mil, or is that right? Yeah, 9.5. Your operating expenses, income, well, 4.8. So yeah, so loss from operations, 5.7, negative 5.7 mil. Your total operating expenses, 10.62 mil. Burning 6 mil in 9 months. How is this good? Your company is not profitable. Your net loss, same period last year, 9 months, 2021, you only lost 2.3 mil. Come this 2022, you lost 6 mil. You've almost tripled your loss. And you're saying you're concerned that, hey, you IPO'd at $6 and you're down to pennies. It's been going down. I mean, from an initial look at the financials, you're burning money. You're not really making money. You're going to have to raise more money to continue to survive. So right off the bat, I just don't understand. The shorts attacked your company because it's not profitable. Can you tell me otherwise? Let's listen a little bit more to it.
Between them, influenced to millions of people, and also our student growth, where we've now got over 4 million students on our platform. And as well as showing our revenue growth and our gross margin growth, we also showed our balance sheet, which has grown to over $90 million in assets this year and 60 million in net assets, compared to now market cap, which is under 10 million because of what they've done to our share price. So for us, this is a fight. We hope you'll come join it. Now here's Wes.
Thank you, Roger, for having me. We can never bring too much light to what's going on in this illegal space. Our team started in 2000. I think we actually filed the first naked short selling case. For that matter, I think we were the first ones to discover it. And that's been demonstrated in the most recent documentary, Gaming Wall Street by HBO Max. If your investors would watch that, it would help them understand how this happens and really how we uncovered it back in 2000 with Suzanne Trimbath, who used to work at.
So let's say legal shorting is okay, but endless illegal shorting isn't. Well, illegal shorting, yeah. It's in, as you said, if it's illegal, yeah. But the point is he ever going to back it up with evidence showing that there was illegal shorting going on? That's what I want to know. He said that he brought up a case before. Did he win that case? He's been doing this for years on end. I'd like to know. Has he been successful? Does anyone know in the chat? Has Wes Christian been successful in his lawsuits when he brings up fighting against illegal share manipulation and naked short selling? Has he been successful in his court cases, in his lawsuits? I just want to know. While this plays on, I'm just going to do a quick Google search on his firm. Just want to know more about it. I would guess that, hey, this guy is the managing partner, founder, or of whatever group that he is a part of. I would guess that it's... I mean, I've never heard of this guy. I mean, but then I'm not super knowledgeable in the whole lawyer, whatever, that profession. So if it's not a big firm, I don't know about it. So let that play, and I'm going to pull up, do some
of
quick
course, the
Googling.
Depository Trust Corporation clears about $1 gajillion of financial transactions a year. And in fact, from where we sit, they're the main members of that company. It's a privately owned company. It's a self-regulated company. It's overseen by the SEC, but many of the members of that company are, in fact, the perpetrators. So we call that in Texas the fox in the hen house. Okay. So we uncovered it first in our case Internet Law Library. I'm not going to go through every case. I'll just highlight some of them. We've prosecuted 21 cases now in this space. We've done due diligence on over 72 companies, public companies. We helped lobby and get Reg Show passed. That became effective in January of 2005. When Reg Show first came out, there were thousands of companies on the Reg Show list. But guess what? We're dealing with people that are very smart. So what did they do? They started marking all the tickets long versus short, because that way they don't show up in your short interest, which really means in the typical case, Roger, frankly, your short interest from where we sat after looking at hundreds and hundreds of millions of pages of documents in 20 years, literally, our team, it's probably 2 to 3 times what the reported short interest is, because the SEC doesn't report that number unless it's marked short. If it's marked long and it results in a fail, then ultimately it's not shown in your short interest. In any event.
But if I could just for the layman on the call, just to go through that difference, because some people might look at what's the short interest on Genius Group and say, hey.
Okay, let me do a quick pause. I'll pull up the screen here. So looks like this is the person. He's the managing partner, James W. Christian. And he goes by Wes. So he's the managing partner, of Christian Levine Law Group. He's a 4th generation Texan, practiced law in Texas for over 40 years. So okay, this guy has a lot of experience then, if he's been practicing law for 40 years. So he has decades of experience handling a wide range of complex civil litigation matters. So we see what his primary focus is. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Education, not familiar with that high school. JD, South Texas College of Law, Bachelor of Science, West Texas State. Okay. Not too familiar with West Texas State. Don't know if they were good. If they were good. University back in the 70s. No clue. Same thing for law school. Don't know if this is any good or not. But he's been practicing for quite some time. So work history. Morris McCann. Partner at Margraves, Kennerly and Schuler. If he's been practicing law for this long and he's been focusing on this type of manipulation, I would like to see the lawsuits that he's dealt with. I want to know, which ones have you won? I don't see any of that. I see publications, his media appearances. all ranging back to 2011, 2010, 2010. I don't really see anything. Publications, looks like they're all super old. 2006, most recent, 2016. Firm news, 2016. As old as 2002. So I don't know. Is he really successful? How big is this firm? Okay, so how many are on the team? Attorneys. You got the managing partner, you got one senior partner, I guess a junior partner, and 1, 2, 3, 4 associates. So this is relatively a pretty small firm. You've got a really pretty small firm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lawyers. And you're going to tackle on Wall Street. You're going to tackle the SEC, the DOJ. You're going to combat naked shorting. Not to say that the team isn't capable, but I just think that this is almost like a David versus Goliath type of situation. If you're going to be suing, let's say, meme stock's favorite firm to hate, company to hate, Citadel Securities or Citadel and Ken Griffin, you're going to go after a company that big with a law firm this small. That doesn't seem like very good odds. Even if you say that there's terrible crime and manipulation happening. How are you going to beat a company that makes billions in revenue, so hundreds of millions of dollars of profit every year? They probably spend more money just on their employees than you guys will make in an entire year, just like a monthly cost. They probably have teams of lawyers. I mean, I'll look into it to see what firm represents Citadel, or maybe they have their own in-house counsel. They probably do. But I bet if you're looking for this group, this man, to go after one of the biggest firms, Citadel, it seems unlikely. Just think about it. But let me go back to reading the chat. I haven't looked into it a little bit. Protest is just for show to gather more support from YouTubers and subscribers. They have no proof to present while they're at the SEC building. Yeah. I honestly don't see them having any decent case. Based on what information? What are they going to provide to the SEC? KJWBR, how does a stock go down from 50 to $4 without it? The stock market operates, I mean, there's definitely buyers and sellers. And there's times when the market swings one big, like think of it as a pendulum, swings really big on one method or one way, and it'll swing back the other way. So you got your ebbs and flows, you got your bullish cycle and your bearish cycle. When did GNS, when did they start? They started, when was the F1 filed? 8-1. So, I mean, looks like brand new company, 2021. You're coming in to the market when it's been on this massive bull run where tons of money was pumped into the markets. J-Pow was just turning that money printer on. Everyone was getting those stimmy checks, even though you probably didn't deserve it. Everyone was spending money like crazy. That's why we had inflation go absolutely out of control and nuts for a while. So you have a situation where stocks are way overvalued. The market will eventually bring that value back down to something that's more in line of what it should be. You'll have stocks. Look at Tesla, for example. Tesla, in my opinion, has always been, sorry, Model 3, if you're here, I've always thought that the valuation on that company was insane. The PE ratio on Tesla was factoring in some crazy amount of growth. So much like this company, Genius Group, they were probably way overvalued based on how much revenue, how much growth it could do. But as I pointed out, this company is not generating profits. Just loss from operations. They're burning millions. Their net loss, $6 million. You're burning $6 million in 9 months. You're burning more money at a quicker rate than the previous year. At what point are you going to turn a profit? At what point? How much more money financing do you need to survive? Right here, you had just under 9 mil cash and cash equivalents, and in 9 months, you've burned 6 mil. How many more months, how many more years can you survive at this current burn rate? This company was probably just really overvalued. And a lot of times when you see analyst ratings, you need to understand when they're giving it, their time frame, and how they're factoring in the growth. When you see whatever price target, oh, Tesla at 500, you got to understand, what is their time frame? When did they make that? When did that analyst make that, give that grade, give that price target? When was that price target valid for? How far in the future are they thinking about? What sort of catalyst, what sort of growth are they factoring in? You can say this guy, Roger James Hamilton, where is it in the video? You can say, okay, Zacks gave it a valuation of 1840 based on the current situation. This guy, Brad Sorensen, a CFA, on June 29th. But things are always changing in the markets. Interest rates, the overall macroeconomic situation of the markets. And how the company performs quarter after quarter. This might have been valid for that quarter. But hey, if you're burning millions of dollars every month, that valuation will not hold. And hey, that's why, in large part, it's been getting obliterated. I just want to know, how many shares does this company have? Outstanding. $20 million shares, weighted average number of shares outstanding, just under 20 mil. So in the last year, they've diluted it by nearly 4 million. You went from 16 million to basically 20 million. You've diluted the company. So that in part contributes to why your stock price was fallen, because you diluted it. You went from 16 million to 20 million. You own less percentage of that company. That one share owns less percentage of the pie. You're burning money. You're not generating income. So you're going to have to either dilute further or take on more debt. You got to borrow more money. And borrowing more money right now in these current conditions is getting to be more and more expensive. So that all factors into your valuation of a company. So off the bat, this interview and this CEO, it just gives me scam vibes. How many CEOs from successful companies do you see going out to complain, hey, you know what? I'm being shorted. My company is being shorted. I'm being illegally attacked. I'm being viciously attacked by short sellers. Can you name me a company that does well but is attacked like that? I can't. You can think of a lot of the big blue chip stocks. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook/Meta, Tesla, or let's talk about Tesla. Do you hear Elon Musk go on Twitter and say, oh, my company is being viciously attacked by short sellers? The stock price of the company has certainly gone down a lot, but I don't see him complaining about it. I don't see him hiring this type of law firm. I see this more as almost like an elaborate ploy, kind of like Tony, what you're saying. This is a lot of a PR stunt where they're giving you this false idea of saying that, you know what, look at this manipulation that's occurring in the stock market. That's why you're not making money. No, if you realized you invested money into a company that's not doing well. No different from, we can talk about AMC and we can pull up the financials. You can look at what's their revenue, what's their operating cost. Is the operating cost greater than their revenue? If it is, then that means they're burning money. If you're burning money, the company's not doing that well. You don't have positive cash flow. You don't have positive EBITDA. Not always. I mean, in this case, yes. So you're burning money as a company. You're not successful. The business model is not working. Obviously, there'll be folks who are going to bet to the downside. You further look into the situation where, look at how much corporate borrowings you have. How much debt do you have? Billions. If you are burning 200 million plus a quarter, how are you going to be able to service your debt? No different from that genius group. Sure, they don't have a crazy amount of debt right now. But guess what? This company is still burning millions of dollars. 9 months burned $6 million. They're having to dilute, looks like they're diluting their shares. It's a simple look at the financials. If the company is burning money, if the company has debt, if it doesn't look like they have any way to service that debt through its normal business operations, then it's going to be a prime target for companies, for firms, hedge funds to short it. It's almost like common sense. You have no profit, you have no business model showing that you have the ability to pay your debt. So they're taking a bet that your company will go under. Because if you're not making money and you have debt, and this, if that worst case is if your debt continues to grow, that's almost a surefire way to say, I'm going to be right. This company's going to go under, and if I'm shorting it, I'll make money off of it. So let's see what else in this
Profit. Those people
video.
work there for
What's
no
this?
compensation. They can go to nakedtruth.info, and you can see actually a sample of some of the complaints we filed. You can see a lot of these fines that have been issued by FINRA or SEC recently.
I'm just gonna help you along here. This here is there's actually a really good FAQ that you actually did on the Naked Truth.
Okay. I want to pull up this website, nakedtruth.info. I don't know how many folks are familiar with like website design, but doesn't this scream like a very simple cookie cutter template? Looks like you could hire a high school kid, just use a basic template and have this website up in 10, 15 minutes. Doesn't it seem like that? It looks absolutely terrible. It's basic. It looks super basic. Not to say that maybe you have good info on there, but the whole operation just screams to me it's just stealing money from you. Yeah, manual. WordPress website. Okay, looking at your website, you're referencing Superstonk Live AMA. What is this? Why? Just the categorizations of this website. Okay, so if you have news, if you have different topics, then why can't I search them by just announcements, just by news? Why is this pinned up to the top? This just seems like this guy, Roger James Hamilton, it gives me the vibes of he's just in it with Wes Christian to make money. He has a company, Roger, that's not profitable. It's burning money. So he's going to use shareholder equity. He's going to take that money from his company, pay this law firm to fight the shorts. They'll probably, I don't know, some sort of kickback, some sort of little nudge help later down the line or something. Because off the bat, why are you so confident in this small law firm? Why aren't you going to any of the larger law firms? Did you go to any of the larger law firms? Did they reject? Did they reject you when you asked them? I want to know. How much are you paying this group? What's the retainer fee? What's he billing you? What's his hourly bill? I want to know. Is this really a good way to spend the company's money? Is this going to result in a successful lawsuit that will support your company? I don't know. But just the vibes of this seem absolutely bogus. Let's see, who's executive board members? Okay, you got two people. Paul Richwalski and Heather Roberts. President, Vice President, Florida and Kentucky. You got no bios on this person. So who are they? Who is this Paul Richwalski? Do a quick Google search. Oh, he has a Twitter. Okay. Oh, great. His profile picture is of a gorilla on stepping on a bull with money in his hands. He has a passion for photography and traveling around the world. We got no clue. What's his Instagram like? You know what? No, screw that. I just want to know what's his. Oh, is this the guy? Like, we got no background on this person. We got no bio. What's his employment history? What's his educational background? Like, we got nothing on this. This website has nothing on your executive board members. You could go to a company, even like AMC, and you could pull up their board of directors. It'll show them a picture of them. It'll show them their work experience, their past. But we got nothing on these folks. Cyberhawk Designs. Oh, specializing in WordPress. Oh, lovely. WordPress design, code news. Yeah, hi, my name is Greg Smith. I'm a web designer and graphic artist that specializes in creation of custom WordPress themes. Awesome. So basic. What else? You didn't hire any sort of legit company to design your website. It looks like your website is poorly run. Very little information. I just want to know. Yes, he's been retained. It's to expose blatant market corruption, enforce accountability. Da 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 da. With your support and 8 retail community donations, he and his team of highly ranked market experts has been retained. Da, da, da. And the vetted team will be sharing our findings. Okay. If you want me to donate to your cause to help figure out this manipulation, I would want some sort of like a weekly or a monthly or at least a quarterly update. So your first post goes back, when did it start? September 14th, 2021. But looking at it, you post maybe twice a month, maybe? But nothing since March 2022. What are you doing? What have you been doing for the last 9 months? You have some sort of GoFundMe or whatnot? I'd like to know. Cases prosecuted by. Full information on stock cases. Okay, so these are the cases that he's... Only 19 cases? That's all you've listed for your stock fraud? Okay. So if we have yep. Okay, so we know the names. So we can probably search these up. I have people I can ask to access Pacer, so we can find what happened. But on these court cases, why aren't you showing what the verdicts are? Why aren't you telling us what happened as a result of these lawsuits? Did you win these? Was it successful? Don't see any of it. And why is there no date on any of these? I hate to be super negative, but just the little things. It doesn't inspire any sort of confidence in me. On the internet, there's tons of websites. There's tons of lawyers. But how can you trust them? Are they reliable? Are they trustworthy? If you're going to be spending thousands of dollars, you want to know that, hey, this person, he knows what he's talking about. This person and his firm, or not this guy. Oh, did I? Darn it. Whatever. And his Christian Levine group or whatnot doesn't inspire confidence in me. It's a very small firm, but he's been practicing law for 40 plus years. But I don't see. You should be doing PR on if you've been successful in your litigations, in your lawsuits. Have a landmark case. Show them, hey, guys, I'm the person you need to hire because I've been successful on this case. On this date, I went against this company. I was able to get this type of settlement. But I don't see any of that news. All I see are YouTube videos, basic YouTube videos from super small market cap companies that are just popping up. Interviews with the CEO, some posts on Reddit. There's no credibility. I just can't trust. I wouldn't trust it. And as Tony said, yeah, I wouldn't hire that guy even if it was given to me for free. Yeah, I wouldn't. If you get in, I'll give an example. When I got into an auto accident, someone been in a couple, all not my fault. A couple times I was rear-ended. One time I was T-boned. But nonetheless, when I was looking for a law firm to help represent me in my case, I looked into them. I looked into the firm. How have they been successful? Have they worked with my auto insurance company before? What sort of settlements have they been able to get? I looked into this. I looked into the size of the firm, looked into the people working there, how long they've been working there, the educational background. I looked all into that. That's something. If you want to hire this person, you want to help pay money for this person, I think that's basic research you need to do. And from my initial glance of who this person is, I don't get any sort of, not able to build any sort of connection showing me that this person is reliable, this person is trustworthy, this person is successful, and will be able to achieve the outcome that I want. So I don't even know. Is it even worth watching this 30 more minutes of this interview? Oh, good Lord. Let's see.
True site, and it gives a Naked Truth website here as well, which explains everything you're doing and what's happening. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat, and also this is a link to your Christian Levine law firm as well, which I'm going to drop in as well. And I thought there's some super interesting things, like even this here was.
Wow. Hold on. On Mumu. Okay, so they did a GoFundMe. Hold on, let me go back real quick here. They raised over $100,000 for this person? Are you serious? People donated over $100,000? And what has that resulted in? I'd love to see the report. Itemized expense report of where did all that money go? $100,000? Who got all that? I'd love to know what this resulted in. When was this?
Even this here was from retail investors to try and hire you as an AMC manipulator, where they wanted to raise.
Hold on, was this back in July 16th, 2021? Okay, so back in 2021, they paid $100,000 to this person. Am I correct? What has he been doing for over a year and a half? What has that $100,000 netted you?
investors to try and
Yikes.
hire you as an AMC manipulator, where they wanted to raise $100,000 and they ended up actually hitting their amount to get there as well. And as you were sharing basically what's been happening recently, I'd love for you to share how having retail investors get behind a company can really help a lot at really trying to.
No question, I will. So our team that we put together consists of Bob Blakey, who wrote the racketeering statute, and the RICO statute does not apply to federal claims for stock manipulation, but it does apply to state law claims. Many states have a state RICO statute here in the States too, which is automatic treble damages if you satisfy certain predicates. It consists of Rob Shapiro, who's the former Undersecretary of Commerce. Rob runs a company called Sonacon. It consists of my partner in these cases. John O'Quinn was my original partner, which was the lawyer that took down tobacco in Texas. He got us over $17 billion award settlement against the tobacco companies. But he sadly died in a very mysterious car wreck, let's call it that, 12 years ago.
Oh, really? He died in a mysterious car wreck. Are you serious? What, you're going to say tobacco company went after them? Oh, God, Lord.
And ultimately, I found Warshaw Bernstein and Mr. Alan Pollock, who is my partner in these cases. Since then, I brought on other law firms. If you want to go to two pending cases that we've done, you can go to Northwest Bio. I brought in a firm called Warshaw Bernstein to help with that case. We're kind of expanding our bench as this case grows, if you will. And then there's another case called Harrington, Harington, and both of those are pending in New York. Both of those are spoofing cases. But at the end of the day, our team consists of about 25 to 30 professionals that are the top backroom analysts. They understand stock lending, they understand clearing and settlement, they understand all the games that are played. We've uncovered crazy things like, they'll put a put and a call of 50,000 shares on the option market, and they think that's a synthetic share, but the contract's never consummated. So 2 days before that option is to expire, they tear it up, and ultimately those synthetic shares go away. So it's really about fake information in the marketplace. I would also send your investors to a prior documentary that just got made public. The original owner of that documentary has decided ultimately to put it on YouTube or somehow on the internet. It's called The Wall Street Conspiracy. That was made about 7 years ago. That was about our client Overstock.com. That was about our client, the Taser Gun Company. That was about our client, Petquarters Inc., our client, Eagle Tech Communications, et cetera. At the end of the day, this is systemic. This isn't just in the States, it's worldwide. The bad news is for the perpetrators of this is more law firms, not only our group of law firms, but other law firms are starting to get on the train here to expose this and prosecute this. Recently, Morgan's, as a company, got fined over $900 million. Finally, a sizable fine, for their spoofing of the metals market. They also got criminally prosecuted. 3 of their what I would call officers in the company got prosecuted and convicted. Okay, now whether that's on appeal, but what I think you're going to see is more criminal prosecutions. So the playing field's changed in our favor for us, and I'll tell you why. By the time you count what I'm told is 10 million Reddit, Wall Street bets, apes worldwide, by the time you count you and your company and the other companies now that are finally deciding to do due diligence on their company, now that they know the software exists for this, the proprietary systems we have for this, that we can actually root this out over time. There's a lot.
They're going to root this out over time. You mean you're just going to take all these people's money, you're going to take all this money from retail, from these apes, from these folks on Reddit, you're going to have them continuously pour money into the GoFundMes, and you're just going to milk them dry. That's the vibe I'm getting from this guy.
A lot of companies, not just with us, but other firms, which I welcome, doing this, including in Canada. And in fact, there's going to be some that show up in London. Because a lot of these undelivered shares, Roger, I believe, are not in the States. Don't forget, besides clearing through the DTC, there's a thing called X clearing. That's broker to broker. So the information we're getting, for example, if you want to talk about your company specifically, we found some large imbalances in your company. Imbalances are counterfeit shares. But that's just
Counterfeit shares, really? You found counterfeit shares? I'd love to see the evidence on this. But oh, hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing? Let's see, a couple other people joined. Lynn, what's going on? Doomslayer, what's going on? Scavenger Stonks, number 1 grifter. No. Number 1 grifter goes out to folks like, was it Andrew Mo Money? Trey Trades, Matt Kors, who else? I mean, those were the big names. They were receiving hundreds of dollars, thousands of donations hundreds of thousands, I think, over the course of the past 2 years. Yeah. Number one grifter will forever be Trey. Trey's pretty high up there. Trey, Matt. Some of the bigger ones recently or that are still active. I would say Keenan Grace, I think, is pretty high. I'm going to be covering a video on him pretty soon. He does it. Boss Blunts. I know he's a big offender. Look at all those super chats he's getting. Absolutely insane. Who else is there? Boss Blunts. Oh, Bigums. Can't forget AMC Bigums. Keenan Grace. There are some smaller folks too that get all these super chats, selling their Patreon, selling their Discords, selling merch, putting up their affiliate links to Moomoo, Weeble, Robinhood, etc. It's just Trey deleted most of his videos? Really? Trey's Trade. I don't want to watch this video anymore because I don't think there's anything relevant on there. Oh, wow. He deleted. What happened to all his videos? Oh, hold on. No, it's mostly lives, right? But no, he's had a lot more videos than this. He definitely had more than 2 videos. Someone's got to have some screen caps of this. There's no way he's only had 2 videos on AMC. There's no way. Okay, but he still has his lives. But oh, look at all that. Absolutely insane. Thomas James Investing. Yeah, that guy is also a big offender. I mean, the list goes on. And if you look at it recently, you see just more and more folks popping out of the woodwork. More and more folks trying to hop onto the AMC grift train. I just don't understand why. But yeah, people covering trades, what happened to them. Oh yeah, New York Angelo, Thomas James Investing. Masked Investor. Yep, forgot about him. A lot of the folks that left the whole grift train, I mean, they all set up their the next little sham. Oh, Wrench Capital, BAM Investor, and his Anemoid terminal, and what are we? August 5,929th or whatnot. We were waiting for new zones of strength and vibration levels to speed test 9,000 or whatnot. Some garbage. It's just insane. How are these Tony Denaro, Mass Lorian, Lou? Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. It's just never ending. It just continues to go. Phil for real? Oh, I wanted to look at this dude. I don't think I've ever watched a single video from him. I know you linked it in the. Hold on. Okay, so time to battle trillionaires with movie game reviews. Did you check the mileage before driving? The later stuff, there's room for change. 100 Hondas or 10 Lambos. Oh my god, okay. I'm probably going to regret this, but you know what? Let's watch a video by this guy.
All right, it's been a while since I did this, so did the shorts cover? Did they close? No? The fuck we talking about? Yeah.
Is this guy serious?
Did they close?
Did the shorts close? Yes, they have been closing, and they've been re-entering their positions. They've been making money all the way from 72 down to $4.
No. I just want to say this because I'm just, we let this go on for too long, and I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna stop it right now, and it's on these people to eat the information because the rest of us, and that's over here, due diligence folks, we're watching all the shield bots, we're watching all the shield videos, we're watching all the misinformed people too. That means misinformed mean you're a good person, you're a great person, you're just misinformed.
Yeah, they're misinformed because you're spreading the wrong information. You're pumping out wrong information.
Following a fucking faceless motherfucker who misinformed you. All right, so with that being said, here's my thoughts on how I'm feeling today. I'm off today, so I'm going to tell you how I feel. If you vote yes on the reverse stock split, okay? If you vote yes, your main objective, okay, is to make sure that Adam Aaron pays off the debt. Your main objective also is to make sure he smart dilutes, not wait.
Okay, let's just say, okay, I'll agree. You need AMC to pay off its debt. But thinking that just by voting yes will allow them to eliminate the debt, that's wishful thinking.
Wait until 8 goes down to 66 cents. Yes, that was a terrible idea, Adam Aaron, okay? That was a bad move, okay? But guess what? Dust yourself off, try again, okay? Simple. But see,
try again. So you want him to issue out a dividend where you lost, 40% of your value? Ape started out, the stock was around $20, AMC, before the dividend. It went down to $4. Ape went down to 66 or that 60 range. Your value got absolutely obliterated. You want to give him another opportunity? Okay.
to the shills and to the fucking misinformed people, they're just going to keep going on the attack because that's what the shills are doing. That's what the shills are doing because that's just what they're going to do. All right? Let them attack. Let them attack. Let them attack. Meanwhile, AMC had over 600 million canceled orders back in June of 2021. Think about that.
This is something that I'm going to be looking into. Looks like, what's his name? Randall Cornett or Cornell or Randall something. I've got to figure out where he's getting his information, the data source, and that seems to be the new rage of, oh, look at all of Citadel's canceled orders. I don't see this. I don't initially understand what the hype is about the canceled orders. I put in orders that I cancel all the time. When I scalp trade options, when I do pre-market scalps, yeah, I do. I alone will probably put in orders that I cancel 10, 20 transactions a day. So I don't understand. If there's tons of people who do this, I don't do it every single day. I'm not a professional day trader. I don't scalp all the time. I got a full-time job. You got people that are doing this for their livelihood. They're doing it every single day. You got professionals, people that work at firms that do this. So I don't see why that figure is so outrageous. But hey, that's just my initial thoughts. We'll see what the data shows. But let me go back to the chat real quick. Let's go back through. Ape Andy. Oh, I haven't seen a video of him yet. I need to look into it. Markets with May. She seems half normal. Markets with May is a type of person. She thinks she's really clever. The thing is that you can look at her background, look at her education, work history. It's all set up to the point where it looks super legit. But then you dig deeper of, hey, she's worked at those firms, but what positions does she hold at those firms? So as a result, what sort of experience does she really have in understanding trading? Then look at how she's pushing her was it Guerrilla, or whatever that platform is, constantly pushing that. Look at what she's charging for that. And there's a lot of basic concepts she also misconstrues and misunderstands. So she's the typical, hey, you put out a nice looking front, you dress yourself nice, you got this nice looking quote unquote resume. You say these terms, you use terminology that some folks might not understand to basically trick you or lull you into a sense of establishing that rapport, to make others think that, hey, she knows what she's talking about. She's trustworthy. Oh, yeah, her analysis must be right. But it's absolutely completely wrong. But you know what? She is less conspiracy theory than some of these folks. Well, a lot of these grifters on YouTube and Twitter and Reddit. So Gav, could you comply? I'm guessing you're saying compile a chart of how much the AM CEOs and CFOs have made by selling their shares to date. I already got that, my dude. Adam Aaron, right here. I did separate video. I did a video just for Adam Aaron. He sold over 1.25 million shares. He's already banked 42 million off those shares. And don't forget that he already gifted 500,000 shares to his 2 adult children. So 250K each to his adult children. CFO. Oh, where did he go? CFO has sold, including the most recent transaction on the 11th, January 11th of this year, 2023, over 500,000 shares. He's made just under 13 million. He's banked. He's made a lot. But by far, Adam Aaron has banked crazy amount of money. What people need to realize is they need to read the sections where how these folks are compensated. Look at their salaries. Look at their compensation structure. Look at how much they're being awarded in stocks. Does it make sense to be paying these CEOs, CFOs, all that money? When your company is burning hundreds of millions of dollars, does it make sense to be paying them bonuses, to give them special bonuses, to give them those RSUs, those PSUs? Does it make sense? Is it in the best interest of the company? Model 3. All hail the king of late night grifter rants. Al from Boston. Al from Boston, like, I can understand being enthusiastic. But what I don't understand is how he can draw all those conclusions. The Philip Ladder connection. We all know that was proven wrong within, what, half a day? Pretty quick. Let's see, who else? What do we got? Oh, sliders, spoofing. What about spoofing? Spoofing. It's the volume of canceled orders comparable to other tickers. It's just odd data. Man, guys, don't go there about May. Jeez. Let's just stick with the facts. Stuff that we can prove. You don't need to do the attacks and stuff. Like for me, I'm really trying to just stay away from the personal attacks, because when you want to have a debate, when you want to have an argument, bring up the facts, show the evidence, show the source, and let that speak for itself. There's no need to attack a person. We don't need to make fun of how they look. We don't need to make fun of their teeth. We don't need to make fun of their hair. Whatever. We don't need to make fun of that. I mean, we're above that stuff, folks. Come on. Let's be mature. I understand sometimes you want to clown around and stuff, but for me, I don't care. All I care about is the facts. I care about the data. So when, let's see if I can pull up, where's that Twitter account? Twitter. Let me see if I can find that account. Randall. God, the one knows. Oh, found it. Randall Cornett. So this guy. So what is this looking for? Oh, so they're reading 606 reports and looking into trades. Good Lord, why do they have it all sorted like that? But I'm gonna dig into this. Improve public disclosure of order routing practices. Okay, order routing. Okay. Definitely want to look into that. Houston Wade. Yep, that guy blocked me on Twitter after I commented on some of his bogus stuff. But let's there's too many things we got to go through. So let's finish up with this Phil for real guy and let's see what he has to say. First video, and I'll say I'm not impressed. He hasn't said anything factual so far. Nothing backed up. All conspiracy theory. All misinformation.
That 600 million canceled orders. Huh? Are you with me so far? Okay, hold on. All right. That's if you're voting yes, that's what you're going to do. Now, if you're voting no, my question to you again, what is your plan other than bashing Adam Aaron? What is your plan? It's time to say this now. It's been 3 weeks. We let y'all get it all out. We let y'all say all the shit y'all need to say. What is your plan? Do you have a plan? Because you know what the dummies are saying? Oh, we saved this company. No, the fuck you didn't. No, you didn't. The company was still going. You know why? Because Adam Aaron, if he had hedging friends, if he was friends with market makers, hedge funds, guess what? AMC would have been bankrupt in 2020. It would have been done. He would have been gave up. Yes, we saved the company, like as far as adding more dollars to it, but Adam Aaron never gave up. That's how you know. The shills that don't know, or not shills, but the misinformed people, misinformed, meaning that they're listening to other due diligence, not understanding it, think they understand it, and then coming to YouTube or coming to Facebook, coming to Reddit, and saying anything.
Why would Adam Aaron give up his gravy train? Right here. Look at how much money he's made off selling his shares. Let's pull up. Hold on, I have so many tabs open. We can pull up his compensation. Look at what happens even if he's let go. Come on, there's a table for this. Sorry about this. Come on, where is it? Look at how much money. He has a golden parachute, basically. He's making money either way, but you know what? Why not stay with the company and continue to make millions of dollars? Look at all the awards. Look at all the PSUs he's being granted. His PSUs, his RSUs. Look at the compensation. 2019, total compensation, just under 10 mil. 2020, oh, suddenly, almost 21 mil. 2021, 19 mil. When a company is doing poorly, why are you treating their executives? Why are they being paid more money? Yes, you want to incentivize them to do better. You want to incentivize them to stay with the company. That's definitely true. I get that. But not to the point where you're crippling your company. You're burning money that you don't have to burn. It's basically all that money that retail pumped into your company. That's what you're taking. Your $5 million bonus, all those stock awards. Yeah. That's kind of taken off the backs of retail folks that bought into the company that really didn't know better. Dave Lauer upping up the Grifton. I don't actively follow him, but we'll see. He's more of a GME guy though, right? And let's see. To be fair, you have to bring up the point that he I'm guessing announced his share sell during Q1 2021 earnings call, and he had no idea that the stock price would be what it would be 6 months later. Yeah, I mean, sure, that he wouldn't know the degree at which what he'd be able to sell it at. But that doesn't preclude him from the fact that he is not working in the best interests of what retail wants. A couple other things. Shadowstars. It was Lou that said he was part of a think tank. Helped develop the stock market algos. Worked on Wall Street. Worked in Silicon Valley. How am I not going to goof on that? Oh no! Is that what Lou claimed? Just Lou he's a trip. When you have someone that's so blatantly lying about their employment history, their educational background, I mean, you can just I don't know. All I'm saying is we don't need to resort to just doing basic ad hominem attacks. I think Lou was part of this. Oh my god, septic tank! Oh, you guys are vicious tonight. Well, yeah. To retouch on this point, yes, he wouldn't have known what the sale price was, what the stock would have pumped up to. But what are his actions from then on? What are the agreements, the EIP, the AIP, all those shares that are being granted to all those other executives? Has that been revised down? The company burning. Let's clean up the GNS stuff here. The company is burning hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter. You have contacts with the film industry, so you can kind of gauge and understand how the box office is going to do. You know you have a pretty good projection of how things will go. But you're choosing to bail out. I mean, personally, from a standpoint of, hey, if you have the ability to make all this money, I understand. Why not? But I'm saying that when you choose to take those actions, when you say that, oh, I'm with the retail investor, I'm riding with you. No, you're not. You're placating them. You're just hyping them up. You're giving them false hopes, pumping them up of dreams and aspirations of stuff that'll never materialize. You mean to tell me the CEO of the world's largest theater chain doesn't know how many movies to expect in the next 6 months? He doesn't know. He doesn't have contacts of the big movie production studios and when you can expect certain movies to be launched. You're saying that he doesn't have contacts with people in the industry that'll project, that does projections of how the movies will do. You got websites, for example, Box Office Pro. They've been in the industry. They're always giving projections of, hey, three-day weekend forecast, what they're looking for projections domestically through certain dates. Looking at the long range box office forecast. You can you can look based on when the movies are coming out. You can look at the early screenings, the reactions to that, how many people are buying into it. You can look at the folks bankrolling the movies. You have a plethora of information. The CEO has a plethora of information and contacts that'll give him a gauge of how the box office will do, how the movie industry will do. That, as a result, will directly impact how your company performs. So you've been the CEO of this company for several years. You know how many movie theaters you have. You know how much money they need to earn to be profitable. It's not like he's clueless to the situation. He might not be as super malicious, trying to purposely confuse folks, but I'm saying that he's not the knight in shining armor. He's not this super gallant white knight coming to save retail investors to root out the hedgies. Let's see, 8.6 billion in 2023, possible recovery in 2024 to 2025. Yeah, and those are initial projections. I get you. Even in my projections, based on what they said, Q3 earnings call, CNK and AMC, we know that they're expecting around that 8.5 to approximately 9.2 billion domestic box office. (2024, 2025), you would hope that the industry continues to grow. But we'll have to see. The landscape of the movie theater industry, I think that it has changed quite a bit. I think that the movie theaters aren't going to go away, but I think that consumer behavior has changed. I think that how people will spend their extra whatever, what's the official term? I'm drawing up a blank here. Whatever their additional extra spending, whatever extra income that they have, I think that they'll allocate it differently. I think that people might not be as willing to spend 10, 20, 10, 15, $20 on a movie ticket, spend $10, $15 on popcorn, go as often as they were before, pre-pandemic. Some of that will be contributed to things like Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus, Hulu, etc. We as a society, we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing. The spending patterns, consumer behavior, that's changing. Even how we're working, that's changed. Pre-pandemic, yeah, we had a lot of situations where the people were going into work. You drove to the company, you went into your office, you went into your cubicle, and you worked. But post-pandemic, we still see a lot, that initial shift. We see how a lot of people have shifted to work from home. So hey, people spending money, amount of gas that they're buying, the amount of auto repairs that they're doing, consumer behavior has shifted. And I'm saying that partly we might be seeing a shift in how people consume media. Let's see. You disagree? There's been a resurgence in pirating and streaming is fractured. My social circle has been grabbing one or two streamers, then going to more movies. There seems to be a shift back. No. Okay, so to engage on that point, the initial boom that we saw in the pandemic, that growth rate or that level might not be reached back again. We've reopened. That end of the 2020, February, when we had those lockdowns, yeah, we had that massive spike. Movie theaters weren't open, so obviously you couldn't go. 2021, it started to ease through. Near the later half of 2021, things started to open up. And obviously 2022, yeah, all open. So there'll be some recovery in going to movie theaters. That I don't disagree with. But that growth rate that you could have expected in 2019, 2018, 2017, I don't know if that's there. And to further back that, I don't know if you've seen this when I did a video on this, when I covered it. Look at the number of tickets sold. If we look at it, the number of tickets sold domestically from 2022 all the way back to 2000. I did a conditional formatting so you can see. What does that number look like? What does that trend look like? Green is higher, red is lower. Obviously, pandemic definitely has a hit. But look from 2000 to 2019. What's the overall trend? You went from 1.5, what is that, billion tickets down to 1.2. This is something I don't think you can deny. The number of tickets sold has been going down. So what does that mean? If less tickets are being sold, so I would assume that less people are going to the theaters. So if less people are going to the theaters, less money is being spent on the theaters on average if that spending pattern continues, if that spending pattern holds. So that means the business model is going to be impacted. To begin with, the company, a lot of the movie theaters, they don't make that much money off the movie ticket to begin with. They make it off the concessions. But if you have less tickets being sold, and as a result, you can think that less people are going, meaning you need more people spending more money per patron on concessions. And you can take a look. I think this is quite interesting. Look at the total box office gross. This figure obviously has been growing. You think that, hey, from 2000 to 2019, big growth. But I think this is the real key. Look at it with total inflation adjusted. You get a similar story here. You see, hey, you peaked basically at 2002, and ever since then, box office has been declining. Now, this doesn't mean that it'll continue to decline. But I'm just saying the pattern exists. It's been going down for the past 15 plus years. There could be little blips back up. I don't disagree with that, but I see the case, it's more probable, I'll say that, it's more probable that this downward case continues to go on rather than it goes back up. And right here, this what I covered in that video when I did this was, let's look at the attendance for AMC. Look at when Adam Aaron entered. Look at the number of theaters AMC had domestically. And look at the attendance. How did that move all in correlation? I think this this should be a big eye-opener in my opinion. If you haven't watched that video, I'll cover this point again. 2010, AMC had 289 theaters approximately domestically. 194 million people attended. 2016, your number of theaters went from 289 back in 2010 to 660. You've more than doubled the number of theaters that you had. But your attendance only went from 194 million to 205 million? What's going on? You more than doubled the number of theaters that you had. You would expect nearly doubling of attendance, wouldn't you? If you're purchasing theaters, acquiring theaters that are performing well. Look at how much revenue that they pull in per theater. Over 5 million over the course of a year. That drastically drops down to 3 million that first year. And yeah, AMC is starting to optimize itself. They're dropping more. They're closing down theaters that aren't performing as well and trying to add more. That's why they're buying more of those ArcLight cinemas, the ones that perform better, places in Chicago, the places in California. Yes, you're replacing them. But at what cost? Let me catch up on some comments here. My kids have been going with friends more often. Person's observations. Yeah, one person's observations cannot be extrapolated to account for everyone's behavior. Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, anecdotal experience. And good point, Adrenocide. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm just winging it. But I do agree. I think that, I don't know, depression, but recession, I'm thinking we're headed towards a mild recession at least. Scott has a much more bearish position than I do, but I still do think that while it initially looks like we might have inflation decreasing, or the rate of increase in inflation, it's slowing down, we still have inflation persisting. And that will also cut into consumer spending habits. Let's see what else. I'd be cutting the bottom 10 and then reevaluate in 6 months. Any comments on crypto rally, which is now fading? I honestly don't know why crypto was last couple days, why it was rallying so hard. It honestly didn't make sense to me. I asked a couple friends that are heavily into crypto. I got a couple friends that are big crypto traders. I got one he does it for full time. And he really couldn't answer. He couldn't really tell me with any confidence as to why he was pumping. But he does think that we've hit a local low, and we've reached a newly established support level that might hold for the next month or so. So let's see. No, he did large-scale purchases of Carmike Odeon, so stuck with leases. He's shutting down underperformers as he can. Yeah, and that's the thing. AMC, when they make their purchases, when they're doing those acquisitions, when you look at those leases, they're locked into a long term. It's not a lease for 1 or 2 years. They're locked into leases of 10, 15, 20 years, which is quite crazy. So he's limited on how quickly he can shutter down those less performing, those weaker theaters. That's a drain on the company's resources. Let's see. The world has changed as to how, why, or what people go to the movies. I feel sorry for them. They're laughed at for taking a date to a movie. 5 or 6 out of the last 6 recessions, box office increase, cheap way to go out. Theaters do tend to be recession proof. Okay. In some sense, I do agree that you would have, let's say, if people, instead of going on vacation, instead of spending thousands of dollars on a weekend getaway, maybe they downsize and they tend to go to their local restaurant and they'll go to their local movie theater. Yeah, that certainly can happen. But the overall spending habit, I think, will still decrease. You're not going to have growth in the market. And what AMC needs is massive growth. 2023 is still, they're projecting it to be 75 to 80%. That's what Cinemark is saying, of pre-pandemic levels. AMC saying 15 to 25% growth. So 2023 is going to be a money-burning operation. I'm going to try to nail down my earnings estimation, my forecasting model, quote unquote. Sorry, yeah, that's a little inside joke, me trolling Avi Harkishun, that guy. But I would guess that, you know what? They're on pace to have burned through nearly 900 million this year. I think that they'll still continue to lose money in 2023. And that's money that they don't have enough in the war chest right now to survive. So more dilution will be coming. 2024, I would think that it'll be better than 2023. But we still need to see how things will go. I'm basing this off of, remember, average movie production time. You're on the quick side, 2 to 3 years. So we'll see. Are movie studios, are they going to get the funding for these large, big blockbuster hits? Are people going to be bankrolling those budgets of $200, $300, $400, $500 million movies? Are they going to be able to spend that $200, $300, $400, $500 million in promotions? All those ads. Can you do a video on Stella Jones Inc.? I don't know what that is, man. I'll be honest. So let me know. Yes, Norman Middleton, disposable income. Yes, thank you. For some reason, I just couldn't think of that word for the oddest reason. Groundhog Eater 7, is popcorn or credit cards going to help? This is on my to-do list. I think it was Slider MV who brought up some of those points, but my initial thought, as I've said this in previous videos, is that sure, it could help, but I don't see the big impact. I don't think it's going to be a big impact in 2023. Maybe 2024, 2025, you have a larger impact. But I don't see this as a saving grace for the company. The business model, this movie, it's just not working. It's not profitable anymore. You need people to be spending tons of money on concessions. You need revenue streams where you have greater profit margins. AMC is about to break even at 10 billion domestic box office. 2023 will likely burn at 9 billion domestic. They're at revenues of 4.5 billion. I think 900 million burn in 2023 though is way too high. No, yeah, 900. No, this is for fiscal 2022. I'm saying that they'll end the year they ended the year 2022 probably around that 900 mil cash burn. 2023, yeah, I'll do some rough calculations myself, but I would think that it'll be less than this. And that's why also I track on daily. Look at how the domestic box office is doing. Right now, they've done 273 million. And we're what? I have until Thursday, so yeah, we got 13 days into the month versus Q1 2022, same period January, 70% there. You want to factor in that 15% growth, basically at 61%. So I think they're well on track to beat January figures. They're on track to be above that 15% growth. The question becomes, what happens to the rest of the months? Is that 15% going to hold? But yeah, microwave popcorn sales in the US are about 1 billion. Okay. So I don't know what percentage, what sort of market share AMC would be able to get of that 1 billion revenue. Within a year, I'd say it'll take some time for that to occur. You're going into a market that already has well-established brands. So margins are 20 to 40 cents of dollar profit. We'll have to see. That's what they were previously. How has inflation impacted that? Cost of transportation, cost of employees, like paying that. The cost of doing business has gone up. Are those profit margins still there? Will those profit margins continue to remain at those levels, or will that continue to shrink? Don't know. And you got to factor in, if AMC is looking to go into that market, what are those other companies going to do? Are they just going to sit there and watch? They're just going to let some other competitor join them? I don't think so. I think that, hey, maybe they up their marketing. Maybe they change the pricing. What if I don't know the exact brand, all the different brands in the popcorn market, but I know Orville Redenbacher. I think that they have a pretty big, I would guess that they have a pretty big market share and brand recognition in the popcorn industry. What if they take actions? What if they try to push AMC out? So, I mean, to just go back and hit that point, yeah, the popcorn stuff, maybe it'll make some money. But is it enough money to offset all that debt that they're making payments on? I don't know. Let's see. If we do a rough calculation, so let's say they do 9 billion. They do 9 billion for 2023. Meaning they'd have to do better than Q2 performance of 2022 basically every quarter if you average it out. So let's say they burn $100 million every quarter. They burn through another $400 million. You're going to have to dilute. Let's see, not going to lie. I go to the movies just to buy popcorn sometimes. Hey, props to you, man. If you like popcorn, hey, your money, you got a job, you can pay for it. Go ahead, man. I got no problem. And let me be clear, I got no problem. If you like AMC the company, you like going to their theaters, I got no problems. What you want to spend your money on, that's all on you. For me, let me reiterate for the folks who maybe just joined the stream or don't know who I am, all I'm about is I want to point out the data, the figures. I'm going to show you folks, hey, I'm going to the SEC Edgar website. I'm pulling official filings. I'm pulling up the 10Qs. I'm pulling up the 10Ks. I'm pulling up the Schedule 14As. I'm showing you the official filings. I'm showing you the numbers. I'm showing you past performance. And I'm trying to show you what the trends are, what it could be like. What's more likely? I don't talk about tinfoil hat theories. I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories. I'm not going to hype people up. I'm talking about the cold hard facts. Numbers that we can see. And numbers we can kind of project based on the numbers that we have. But yeah, they will have to dilute. Yep. So we definitely agree on the point that AMC is going to have to dilute. So this upcoming vote that's going to happen for the shareholders, I already think that the vote is going to go through. The reason why is this right here. Look at the number of shares that's issued so far. Look at the total number of shares that Antara will have. They'll own a significant portion of the company. They alone will vote yes for the proposals. You factor in the other larger stakeholders. So you factor in your BlackRock, you factor in your Vanguard. When they vote for yes, I think that alone will just give you the majority needed to approve all those proposals. The reverse split, or the combination of APE and AMC, the 10-to-1 reverse stock split, the authorization of extra shares to allow for the combination of AMC and APE, and potentially allowing for more dilution. So let's see. Best case, AMC and APE combined, they reverse split. AMC price would be 60 and they dilute 50 to 100 million shares, maybe at 40 average, and they are fine. Okay, so let's tackle that then. I would say that you would have post reverse split, do that 10-to-1. You're looking at, I would say, around that 140 to 150 million shares. You're saying that they're going to dilute 50 to 100 million more shares. You're going to dilute almost 2/3 more of your total shares outstanding. Do you think the price will hold if it started at 60 just to 40? Two-thirds, anywhere from a third to 2/3 of your shares outstanding, you've increased it. Let's just say you went from 150 million, and you're just going to add 75 million. Let's do it right down to half, basically. You've increased your shares outstanding 50%, but your stock price will only dip down. What is that? $20 from 60 to 20, so that's what? Roughly 30%? The thing is this, the company, okay, so a couple things. The company doesn't need to eliminate their $5 billion in debt. Let's be clear. The company can operate without having to eliminate every single dollar of debt. They don't need to do that. Doing that, sure, clear your balance sheet, but there's no need. You're just wasting money. You have time on a lot of that debt payment. You have your biggest debt payment, coming in 2026, if I recall correctly? That three something bill. It wouldn't be a smart move to do. But yeah, you could pay a significant portion of your debt if you were able to find buyers for that. But the assumption in your case is that you'll find buyers. They'll be able to find buyers for 50 to 100 million shares of AMC. Who would be willing to buy anywhere from 1/3 to 2/3 of the company? That's the point where I get stuck on. The company at the moment is, we'll see what the Q4 numbers are, but they're still burning money. They're expected to burn money in 2023. Maybe they'll start to turn a profit in 2024 and onwards. But that's a maybe. Who would be spending that money right now betting on the growth of the company? Who would be willing to risk that much money? Why would you spend the money on this type of industry, this type of company, as opposed to something else? That would be my question. Apes have been buying for 2 years. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely been retail investors who've been loyal to the company, loyal to the brand. They've been going to the movie theaters, they've been buying shares. But just how large is that retail group? How many more years will they be willing to hold on to their shares? How much more money would they be willing to pour into the company? I think a lot of these retail traders, they're brand new to the stock market. They haven't been trading for years on end. They've recently joined. In particular, they've invested a lot of money during the COVID period because of all that stimulus check. That's my thought. I think that people had extra disposable income. Thank you. What was his name? Props to, what was his name? Norman Middleton. Thank you. Reminded me of the term. When they had more disposable income of sorts with those extra stimulus checks, $1,000, whatnot. So they were able to pump it into the stock market. They're able to pump it into AMC. The stock market was in a massive bull run. So they were, even if you were a terrible trader in a massive bull run, you're making money, period, basically. It's very difficult to make money losing trades in that type of crazy bull run. But now the stock market is turning down. You don't have constant stimulus checks. You don't have rent freezes. You have inflation that's continuing to go on. Energy prices going up, gas price, food, etc. Everything's costing more. Is your salary, is that keeping up with inflation? Let's see. Model 3. As a person that worked in advertising, I can tell that AMC has brand issues as the younger generation want to see movies in a different way. The same thing happened to the music bus. Huh? Music bus? Music industry? I don't know what you're talking about there, Model 3. AMC is not making the move to be ahead of the changes coming. I wouldn't just say that to AMC. I think just the movie theater experience in general. I don't know. Are you talking about was it 3D? I don't know. Maybe that's the future. Everyone's going to go into virtual reality and stuff. I don't know. But okay, Slider. Market offering 5 million shares a month. Okay, so slow dilution over the course of a period of time. But I just don't see. The company's not profitable now. It all comes down to, in 2023, who'd be willing to spend that money? You can see all the changes in these big companies, especially in tech. You see them all downsizing. They're trimming their workforce. They're lowering their capital expenditures. Banks are lending less. They're being a lot more restrictive on how they're loaning out their money. I don't see that many companies lining up to invest money into the movie theaters. Let's see, Scott. Apes have been gambling, hoping for a massive short squeeze for the last 2 years. Seems like most only started caring about fundamentals after about the first year. I mean, the short squeeze play, I think in general, if you've played any of the short squeezes, any of the gamma squeeze plays, especially a lot of the SPACs and a lot of the low float, small market cap stuff, a lot of that stuff is over within a month or two. They don't go on for a long time. The reason why fundamentals finally matter in this type of situation is because if you're hoping for a short squeeze, your company still needs to exist. Your company still needs to have enough money to operate. And obviously, we know the cash burn rate that AMC is going through. And if you're in for this as for a short squeeze, if the companies go bankrupt, then your thesis of short squeeze is absolutely done for. And the reason why I cover the financials so hard is, hey, you're hoping for a short squeeze. If the fundamentals don't support the company being around, your short squeeze is never going to happen. Right now, I'll be frank that if you're looking for this type of a short squeeze again on AMC, the MOAS or whatever you want to call it, you need something, a catalyst that absolutely changes the whole direction of the company. You need almost like a black swan event. Right now, the company looks to be burning millions of dollars of cash every quarter. You need something so greatly changing, business model changing. Suddenly, whether people all start going to the movie theaters, attendance just skyrockets out of nowhere, and everyone starts spending tons of money at the concessions, or concession margins dramatically improve, or you know what, maybe the contract negotiations with the movie production studios, that maybe, you know what, instead of the production studios getting anywhere from 30 to like 80% of the cut, maybe AMC retains more than 50% of that. You need something drastic, something massive change that quickly hits, that'll completely change the whole short thesis. Let's see. Came for the squeeze, stayed for the fundamentals is what we like to say. Yeah. A lot of the folks in the AMC play, you came in for the squeeze. I don't think many paid attention to the fundamentals whatsoever. I don't think people were looking into, hey, how did the company perform pre-pandemic, 2017, 2018, 2019? I don't think people were looking at, hey, how was the company performing back in 2010, 11, 12, 13? What was the domestic box office doing? What were their overseas theaters doing? What was the audience like? I don't think they were looking at any of that before even investing into the company. Yes, Scott. I think collectively the 8 mentality has been improve the fundamentals, get the shorts out. Movie houses will be a thing of the past in 5 years. Okay, you talk about music business. Okay, if AMC goes bankrupt, equity holders get wiped out, and shorts never have to cover. Yeah. AMC has had every imaginable catalyst, still no squeeze. The thing is that you need a catalyst that's massive, something that's absolutely game-changing. That hasn't occurred yet. I don't know if that will ever occur. Apes don't understand short sellers or short selling in general. The number of times we hear short companies into bankruptcy. That's part of the thing I do want to touch upon. Is that, and what that West Christian, what this guy does and how he's tackling short selling, and was it Roger Hamilton, the CEO of GNS or whatever. The companies that are being shorted, I mean, I don't think that there's massive manipulation and crime occurring to the degree that they're thinking of. Your companies are being shorted because, bottom line, what is your net earnings? What is your EBITDA? What's your assets? What's your liabilities? How much debt do you carry? If you're not cash flow positive, and if you have a mountain load of debt, how are you going to pay that off? If they don't see a manner in which your business model, if they don't see a way in which you can pay that off, then yeah, you're a prime candidate for these hedge funds to short you. Much like if they see a company that's undervalued, they'll invest in it. Think of Berkshire. Think of Warren Buffett. He'll buy companies that he thinks that are undervalued. When they rise up, he'll take some profit. AMC's free cash flow was hampered by $1.5 billion capex upgrading newly acquired theaters. 2020 estimate was $200 million. Then COVID hit. That's a $900 million increase in free cash flow over 3 years. Hate the 2017 to 2019 comparison. Okay. Want to talk? Okay, so let's remove capital expenditures then. Just look at operating costs. Look at their total revenue. Does it make sense for a company to be spending that much in capital expenditures? Does it make sense to do that? When you as a company, 2017, your operating costs just under $5 billion. Your total revenue just barely above $5 billion. Don't even factor in your corporate borrowings, your interest payments. Oh, I guess we can also remove, you want to remove depreciation costs then. But nonetheless, your total revenue versus how much money you're spending, how much it costs to run your business, your profit margins aren't that large. You're not making a lot of money. For you to be spending that much seems like way too risky. What's the ROI on that? How long will it take for you to break even on that? Like I said, when AMC started to acquire all these additional theaters, how long before they're able to recoup that cost? Sure, you can say that it's a one-time cost. It's a one-time expense. But does that one-time expense make sense? For me, the writing on the wall really started from here, from 2010 to 2016. Were all those acquisitions from 2016, 2017, all those upgrades, all those movie theaters you're buying, was that worth it? Did that make sense? In the hopes of establishing your brand as being the world's largest theater chain, was that worth the cost to your company? Was it worth that investment? When you can look at the box office, you look at inflation adjusted figures. Was the industry growing over the course of the last 15 years? I think that this alone was bad. But hey, if COVID didn't hit, I'll agree with you. COVID really hit them in almost the worst time. They might have been able to crawl out of this hole, maybe, if they were given enough time. But I think between COVID and the potential shift of consumer behavior, that is nail in the coffin. Let's see. The only way to pay it off is to suck it from retail share value by dilution, and they will try, but aren't doing anything to make money from the business itself. Management sucks. Honestly, I mean, yeah, the only way that they can finance their company is through selling of shares. And that's what they have been doing. the company went from pre-pandemic, I think, what, 80 million shares? We're ballooned up to over 1 billion shares. You finished the whole deal with Antara Capital. I think we're looking at 1.4 billion shares, combining Ape and AMC. COVID was bad. Yes, COVID contributed to their debt. But it's not like they didn't have debt before. It's not like, where is it? Do I have debt here? Darn, I don't have. I can pull it. Let's just pull up the 10Ks then. Can do it live right here. It's not like 2017. Where are you? It's not like they didn't have debt. What is their... Come on. Where's... They usually have a nice little table of all their debt. Come on. Where are you? Corporate borrowings. It's not like they didn't have massive amount of debt beforehand. 2017. Look at their corporate borrowings. Yeah, end of 2017, 4 billion. We look at recent ones. What, under corporate borrowings? Corporate borrowings. Yeah, still got 5 billion. And now pay attention to all those percentages, all those interest rates. Debt by far is the business model has slim margins, but the massive amount of debt that's hanging on top of their heads, it's really weighing them down. You got massive sandbags around your legs. You're trying to run a race, but you got this debt is heavy sandbags tied around your ankles. It's slowing you down. Yeah, AMC. Okay, AMC never had the chance to have a normal year, and I think that business move to expand, to upgrade, to spend all that money, was a terrible notion, a terrible plan. It was way too risky. And I'll bring up this point again. If your industry domestically isn't growing, where is your additional revenue going to be generated from? Are you thinking that overseas it'll grow? I don't know. I just think that the writing was on the wall for this company. COVID would have been the nail in the coffin, but they were, in a brilliant move, they were able to raise a lot of money and survive. And you had retail pump into the stock market, a lot of that stimulus money, a lot of that money that they weren't able to spend, so they all that disposable income, they stuffed it into the stock market, and you had a scenario of AMC, you had a scenario of GME. But yeah. But you know what? Let's close some of these tabs. Too many things up here. No, I'm not gonna finish watching that. I honestly think that's a waste of time. 2 days on a watch before I call things off and close for the night. I gotta get up early in the morning. I got a local cars and coffee event I want to attend tomorrow morning. So let's see, Ape Father. Anything interesting? He's, as far as I know, this guy was super AMC and posted daily videos of AMC, but I guess he shifted over to doing food now. So let's look at 4 hour. God, how many videos does he make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Oh my goodness. This guy put out 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 videos in a day? Now, I want to see what he has to say about the AMC apes.
So I get messages from AMC apes. I don't want to protest. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to boycott AMC. I just want to keep taking it raw from Adam Aaron. I like it raw. I like it raw. No KY jelly. I like it raw. It's like I said. You don't want to protest. You don't want to boycott AMC. There's always, choice C. Remember David Koresh, Waco, Texas? Okay, well, he told all the men to give him all of their wives, and he was the only one allowed to have sex with their wives. So remember something. You don't want to boycott AMC? Okay? You don't want to protest? Okay? There's always choice C. Adam Aaron wants to take 90% of your shares with this 10 for 1, 1 for 10 reverse stock split. Say, Adam, take my wife. You take my wife and do anything you want to her. You take my bank account. You take my house. You take my wife's blouse.
Good lord, like, what the hell? Is this the type of content Ape Father produces? Because if it is, like, really? I just can't understand. So that's his message? Does this guy provide any sort of information? Why you shouldn't, or why you should protest, or why you should boycott AMC? I don't understand the whole boycott situation. If you're for the company, why are you boycotting them? I think before I saw a video where he's saying that you should go to Regal and make a YouTube account, film yourself going to Regal, and say that if you'll stop spending money at AMC and you'll only go to Regal unless you cancel the vote. This guy absolutely makes no sense. I don't know what kind of message is he trying to push out? Like what's his stance? Like, it's just all so illogical. Like, good lord. I got, 30 more seconds?
This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner.
Yeah, because you obviously have no clue what the hell you're doing, it seems like. I don't understand your message.
I am not a private dancer. I'm your private dancer. What you? An astronomer. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a bus driver. He father in the house.
What the? Yo, I'm not even gonna. This guy is. Holy cow. This is so cringe. Jackie KM, yes, this guy is omega cringe. He has 11,000 subscribers. Seriously, these folks are watching his videos? Wow. That's all I can say. I'm just lost for words. And I want to watch this guy, Common Sense Investor. I think I watched a couple of his videos. Let's see. How to make money using chat. Oh, no. Okay. I want to watch this. I think I skimmed through part of this before. But AMC Squeeze Endgame.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. Stepping away from YouTube and I'm going to talk about what I'm up to. First, what is going on with AMC? Well, in my Discord, people have sent me messages that said I need to check out Morant's rants.
Oh, God. Okay, I wanted to skip through that. Get to your points, common sense.
Oh, can't imagine what his entry position is in GME. But this video tells us everything we need to know about this man and his position with AMC. But he says he's found a smoking gun. Listen, what he talked about the smoking gun is the anti-takeover rule in the bylaws. If that's the smoking gun, we found that months ago. Then he says that he has discovered something new. Let's listen to him.
So if you guys are AMC investors and or if you guys are believers in MOAS or anything of that nature, kind of understand where everything's coming from.
We're whitelisted shares, okay? Unless you DRS them, you do not own them. All right, they're only loaned to you. So the anti-takeover rule, if Ape was it, then yes, he's trying to stop a hostile takeover of AMC, and he's brought in Antara. So that's how that's worked out. But let's listen more about what this sumbitch has to say.
And that's why he invented Ape. It's in the bylaws for that specific reason. They have these abilities. Preferred equity units was not put into place.
Very first person to buy into AMC. All right. Then let's take a look at what happened to AMC from its beginning to now. And we look at the chart. Showed y'all that in the video. Morant's. You need to do some good DD, dog. Look up in the cards and you'll see the one where I talk about voting rights. But first, let me kill these notes and then we look right from December.
I don't know. I can't stand watching 20 minutes of this guy. I don't think there's anything covered. Oh, I remember. Yeah, he covered part of my video. Yikes. Skip through that.
LiveStream and start harassing them. And he was getting his Discord rallied up to do it. And I disagreed with that. So he booted me out. But you are constantly badgering people who love the stock that they're new price scale. And I'm saying, I said, man, fuck this. I'm talking about I'm a no good motherfucker.
Okay, I don't know what his video was about. What role does Adam Aaron play? I skipped through the video, a lot of it, but I didn't see anything covering what role AA played. I didn't see anything in his videos. I know this guy gets a lot of flack, both from AMC folks and from GME folks, but my initial take of this guy, I think I covered one of his videos before. The DD seems very lackluster. He plays a lot into the conspiracy theories, plays a lot into the tinfoil hats. I don't see the facts, the stats. I don't see a lot of that being mentioned to prove his case. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. We got any recommendations of one last video to watch or one last person to watch before I close it? I actually should be going to bed real soon. Got to get up around 4 or 5-ish. But let's see. He has problems. We will not make fun of him. Can he prove it was predatory shorted? Yes, the intent was to make money by putting company out of business because of the global pandemic. Can you define predatory shorting? He's good. I can hear the vids, but you can hear the vids, but you can't see them. That might be on your side, dude. I have my stream going on my mobile, and I can see it just fine. CSI is doing the best with information that he has. Okay. Let's see. Jordan. CSI is a drunk moron. Why would you even entertain what he says about the stock market? Let's see. Anyone shorting a functioning company due to a one-time global emergency to bankrupt it to line one's pocket is pretty predatory. That's not hard to understand. Let's see. The stock market point is to make money. It was a great short thesis. Yes, we need to show compassion to all YouTubers. Do stocks and crypto plays? Okay. Typical to my channel. Yeah, why don't we wrap it up with watching a video from this guy. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta cover this. Mullen, invest now. If you guys didn't see my last video, I looked briefly into Mullen. You know what? I gotta pull this up again. I gotta pull up their 10K. For the folks who didn't watch my video, gotta pull this up. I gotta cover this. This has to be done. So let's wrap it up here. I'm gonna catch up on the chat one last time before we end the stream here. You gotta run, okay? I don't show compassion to YouTubers the same way I don't tell men they can be women. Placating mental illness begets more mental illness. Okay, so this guy, stocks and crypto plays. I clown on him quite a lot because he spews absolute garbage, in my opinion. He has no DD. He has no facts. He presents no research. So let's see. His videos, he just pushed it out 28 minutes ago. It says, Mullen, invest now. Made in US, a USA EV company. 4-minute video. Let's go.
Hey friends, welcome to Stocks and Crypto MULN. And nobody seems
Oh, he spelled it right this time. Because one of his last videos, when he talked about Mullen, he spelled it wrong in the video. Where was it? Did he fix it? Come on, where'd it go? Oh, he fixed it. Okay. Oh, no, not in this video. Yeah, he spelled it wrong. Look at him. He's talking about the company. He has a little clip, a little photo. He has the stock price stuff. You see how the company is spelled, and in this video he spells it wrong. You're gonna take stock advice, he's not a financial advisor, so he's not giving you financial advice. You shouldn't follow what he does, but he's giving you all these plays. He presents a company, a stock, can't even spell it right. I'm not attacking his character. I'm just saying, the credibility. Do you develop any sort of trustworthiness? Can you trust someone if they can't even spell the name of the company right? I don't know. Not me. But let's see. What does he have to say about Mullen?
to show how beautiful the EVs are. If you look at that SUV behind me there, it's very beautiful. You could actually put in a reservation for it. It's 155 mile an hour max speed, 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds with a range of 325 miles. Purchase price from $55K. So, you know, they can be a competitor of Tesla possibly. I mean, they're making some beautiful, very beautiful SUVs and cars. And then in addition to that, they have some really low price, tiny little autos that you can use in Europe and all that. So they're actually a really smart company. And
wait, hold up. Really smart company. Before we go any deeper into this stuff, you guys, this is just what I do. When someone mentions a stock ticker to me, I want to look at their financials. I want to look at their SEC filings. What I have here, Mullen Automotive. I'm going to pull up their most recent 10K. And one thing to point out, they got a notice that, hey, you're not filing your 10K in time. Notification of inability to timely file Form 10K. That alone sets off a first red flag. Why isn't the company able to properly form their filings on time? What is hindering their ability to file forms that they're required to? But after that, let's skip it. Let's go to the very first page. Their forward-looking statements. This alone I think tons of red flags. I covered this in my Mullen video. But look, we have incurred significant losses since inception. We expect we will continue to incur losses for the foreseeable future. Let's zoom in a little bit so everyone can read it. Oh, Lord. We will require substantial additional financing to effectuate our business plan. We have not manufactured or sold any production vehicles to customers and may never develop or manufacture any vehicles. You're saying invest in a company, you're going to invest in Mullen now for a company that has not yet manufactured or sold any production vehicles. Okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. You want to invest in a company that's just starting, so maybe you can get it at a mega cheap price. Okay, that carries significant risks, but if you know the risk profile that fits your trading strategy, then okay, maybe you're willing to take a risk on a brand new company that hasn't developed manufactured a vehicle, but they have plans to supposedly develop a vehicle in the future, and you can get it for super cheap. Okay. This right here, our auditor has expressed substantial doubt about our ability to continue as a going concern. The company is telling you, their auditor has said they doubt the ability to continue. It's a concern for them. An auditing company is telling you, oh crap, are you going to be able to survive? But you're going to invest in the company? You want to invest now? You got lenders and IRS they have liens on your assets. They got no plans to pay dividends on the stock. You got subject to significant dilution. We may not be able to maintain compliance listing requirements with NASDAQ. We may not be able to develop, manufacture, or obtain regulatory approvals for the car. So you might have an EV company, a USA EV company, that might not be able to even make your car. And it's time to invest now. Really? Let's see what he says.
That's why I wanted to do this video, to show you how beautiful the SUV is. Also, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please share the video.
No, I'm not going to hit like. I'm going to get you a downvote because this is absolute garbage, man.
With a friend, and also give me some information maybe that I don't have about it. So MULN is a high
information you don't have. I don't think you've looked at this 10K. This alone, this first page of reading their forward-looking statements is run away. Holy crap, stay away from this company. Look at it. Look at how many. He has 2 full pages of warnings. We have history of losses and expect to incur significant expenses and continuing losses for the foreseeable future, casting doubt on our ability to continue. We are unable to accurately estimate the supply and demand of our vehicles. Oh, good Lord. Model 3, dude, Elon better watch out. Tesla competitor on the rise. I'd be mega surprised if this company is ever able to develop a vehicle. Right here. What is it? Come on. There was something in here. They tell them by what time they're expecting to produce their first vehicle. I think it was under revenue. Come on. It should be around here, right? Is it not here? $2024. There we go. right here. Our vehicles are in development. We do not expect our first vehicle to be produced until the second quarter of 2024 at the earliest, if at all. What year are we in? We're in 2023. But you know what? The soonest that they're expecting to produce even their first vehicle, second quarter of 2024. You got 1 year at least until you'll see even a single vehicle produced. If at all. You have a company that generates no revenue. Let's pull up that section again. Come on. We do not currently generate any revenue. Once we commence production and commercialization of our vehicles, we expect that most of our revenue will be initially derived from direct sales of cargo vans. To date, we have not recorded costs of goods sold as we have not recorded commercial revenue. You're not making any money. Look at how much money they're burning. In a year, almost 100 million just from operations. Their net loss over the year, $740 million. You burned $740 million as a company in this past year. How much did you burn the previous year? $44 million. Look at that percentage. Percentage change, 1,573%. Good Lord. You've earned that much money. You're not building a vehicle until next year. So you're not going to generate any revenue. You're not going to generate income. Besides maybe a little bit on pre-orders. Is that going to be enough to offset your hundreds of millions of dollars you're burning? Are you serious? And let's look at how much cash on hand. Cash and cash equivalents. The end of the year with $54 million cash and cash equivalents. You're a company that burned over $700 million, right? Where's their net loss? $740 million in a year. You currently only have $54 million cash and cash equivalents. How many months left do you have on this current cash burn? But hey, is it time to invest now in this USA EV company?
High efficiency model, quick to market, lower capital investment compared to other startup EV companies. Attractive returns. Economical proposition. Competitively priced EVs created for the American consumer with entirely US-based manufacturing and operations. See, I really like that because it seems like in the automotive industry, everything's made in China and Europe and all that. And here we are, we have an EV company that is US-based manufacturing and operations. How exciting is that? That's something.
Okay, so is this going to be better than Tesla? How is it going to compete with Tesla? I think Tesla recently just did some massive price drops across the board. So is this $55,000 going to be competitive with Tesla's offerings based on their range, based on the performance?
We can all really get behind. Let's see here. Easy to go electric. End-to-end ecosystem which takes care of all aspects of EV ownership. Right from research to financing to servicing, it's never been easier to go electric. So they want to make sure they provide every step of the process in-house to make sure it's easy for you to buy one of their vehicles. So the other thing that I wanted to point out to you, obviously they're based here in the United States also, is they're in California. That's where they have the Mullen headquarters in Southern California. And they have the Mullen Automotive Development Center there as well in Southern California. But also they have other locations. So Tunica, they have a facility at AMC.
So the only point I got so far in your video is saying that, you know what, Mullen's a USA, all made in USA company. Well, except they haven't produced a vehicle yet, a single vehicle. They're taking pre-orders. It won't be out for at least one more year, one full year. But hey, you should invest in the company because what? They're just USA? Is that the point?
EC facility, and then it looks like in Michigan. So in mind, and you know, it's not like you could get Tesla for 40 cents or 30 cents a share. So you know, that's why we're getting these shares so cheap.
Oh, so you're getting the shares because the company is so cheap. Well, Tesla is a well-established company. They're pumping out hundreds of thousands of vehicles a month, if I recall correctly. They're selling tons of vehicles. They have their production lines are constantly expanding. They're getting more of their gigafactories online. What does Mullen have? You don't have a single vehicle to sell. That's why it's so cheap. You don't even know if it'll survive. Look at their cash burn. They're going to dilute that even more. 54 million in cash right now, and they've burned over 700 million over the year this past year. They got to get more money. Why would you buy it now at this price?
Now, I am going to double my position on Tuesday. Also, I'm very bullish on another stock, GNS.
Oh God. See, this guy's just pumping low float, or small market cap shit penny stocks. The GNS, we just watched what Wes Christian talk did an interview with the CEO of GNS about it's predatory short selling and whatnot. Oh, good Lord.
That was my previous video from this morning. Go into my channel and watch. So watch that one for Tuesday as well. But I really wanted to show this to you. Are you guys loving these vehicles? Do they look so beautiful? Are you excited about MULN? They've got some really bullish things coming up towards the.
They got really bullish things coming up, huh? Let's talk about this catalyst here. Look about how much money they're burning. How much money do they burn a month? You know what? Let's do this. They burn 740 million over a year. They burn over 60 million a month. You don't even have enough money to survive a month. Meaning you're constantly diluting and borrowing more money. Your shareholder value, the value of your shares will continue to burn. Why are you gonna invest now when they're not gonna develop another vehicle? They're not gonna produce a vehicle for another year? Good Lord. Grifter. I call him out because this guy's a grifter. He covers AMC, covers Mullen, covers GNS, covers AVCT, covers Party City, another company that's going bankrupt. All these absolute garbage. Some people will argue with AMC. Maybe some will argue with Party City. There's no way you can argue with me on Mullen. You can't argue with me on AVCT. This company declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Good Lord.
The end of January, they're going to be doing a debt to equity swap. Also, they're going to be offering some preferred shares, which we can get into as well. I'll do a video on that in the future. So comment below something that we all don't know. And I look forward to hearing from you. Appreciate you all.
What you don't know. You obviously don't know the financials. If you did, there's no way in hell I wouldn't even take shares even if they were for free. You gift them, I wouldn't even want them. That's how bad I would stay away from this company. Oh.
Like, subscribe.
This guy is just clown time. I don't want to personally attack him, but something like this, it's so obviously grifting. You're pumping an absolute garbage company. There's another thing I wanted to quickly look at because this is actually something a friend was into. It's one of the 8K filings. Was it this one? No, not that filing. You got one final filing I want to look at before I end the stream. Right here. This should tell you what the CEO does. So, November 14th, Mullen, they entered into a subscription and investment representation agreement with David Mishery. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong or not, but he's the CEO. The company issued and sold 1 share of its Series AA preferred stock to him for $25,000 in cash. So keep that in mind. He invested $25,000 in cash. Look, now read the section here. November 14th, they filed a certificate of designation with the Secretary of State of Delaware. The designation provides the preferred stock will have how many votes per share? 1,000. Right? 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion votes per share. He spent $25,000 of the company into the company and received 1.3 billion votes of voting power. How many shares does this company have? Shares outstanding. Hold on. At the very top. Oh, no. The very top should give how much they have. They got nearly 1.7 billion common stock outstanding as of January 6th. And what's the price of Mullen right now? Mullen stock, 36 cents. He got 1.3 billion votes of voting power for $25,000. Does that make sense? This is what the CEO did. You look at their terrible financials. Look at how they're not making any money. Where's all their so much junk here? Look at how much money they're burning. You see the CEO. Look at his little play there, getting all that voting power for $25,000. And you think, oh, they make pretty cars, so I'm going to invest in the company. No, this guy is pumping it. He said, oh, I'm going to double my position on Tuesday. When did you buy in? What's your price average? Disclose it live. I even wonder, did he really even buy shares of the company? I bet you he's more into, basically, he's a stupid man's Atlas trading. He's grifting off the folks. He's trying to use you as exit liquidity. It's a shame. This guy, 5,000 subscribers. We saw what he does on Twitter. Absolute shame. But yeah, I'm going to call the stream here. Thanks everyone for being here. Covered a lot of AMC today. Talked to a couple folks, engaged on some of their points. Here we try to let's be respectful to each other. We try to stay away from attacking each other, attacking people based on how they look, etc. Let's just talk on the facts. And what I did was, I pulled up all these SEC filings. Let's talk about the facts. We can debate about it. This guy will hold a special place in my heart because I'll continue to clown him because of all the absolute nonsense he continues to push. And you know what? I backed up my points. I showed you guys, look at their 10K. Read the forward-looking statements. Look at how much money they're burning. I back up all the stuff I say. I show you guys where I'm getting the data. I pull it from reputable sources. And I'm not grifting off you folks. That's what all this channel is all about. I'm providing you folks with information. Information that you can fact check me with. I want you to fact check me. Any information you see on the internet, you should always double check. Because you don't know what their real purpose is. But you know what? I want to be honest. I like to be transparent. I'm going to give you guys the information. Clean cut, simple. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I'm not going to grift off you folks. I'm here to fact check absolute clowns like him. Other folks in the YouTube, Twitter, other social media platforms. Those folks looking to grift off of people. I'm going to call them out. They push out false information. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to fact check them. We need to be doing more of this. You want to talk about other stocks? Got no problems. Leave them down below and let's chat. I'm down to have a mature conversation between folks, between adults. Let's intellectually debate. Well, that's it, folks. Please hit the like. Hope you like the content. Subscribe. And I'll be probably doing these types of streams probably once a week, probably on the weekends. And if work doesn't get too busy, I'll try to be pushing out videos and give you guys updates. But until next time, folks, thanks for being in here. This is Shadowstars signing off. Peace.